Hebrew, and we're given this 12 tribes chart, and with that, we run wild with the camp or whatever place we're fellowshipping with, and we don't question it. And I think that's the same thing we were trying to get away from, is not questioning things like, why not? You have the right to know, and you have the right to seek, and you have the right to get answers. And what I've been led to see my own self is the fact that the camps, a lot of leaders, a lot of people are absolutely wrong. They don't know what they're talking about, and with them doing that, they're deceiving us. I have been able to see Hebrew culture is African spirituality. We are not Hebrew in actuality. No one in the scriptures called themselves Hebrew Israelites. That's something that we've made here in America. No one in the scriptures called themselves Hebrew Israelite. No one in the scriptures called themselves Hebrew Israelite. And I feel like a lot of teachers are really deceptive. They say, oh, we're not African. Yes, we are. A lot of the culture is still there in West Africa. We came from West Africa. For them to tell you that you're not African, or that, oh, those are Hamites and don't talk to them, it's just another form of deception, another form of captivity for you. We are not in captivity. We are not in captivity. We are not in captivity. You can use your passport and go anywhere. If you're going to claim to be Hebrew, learn the language. I'm taking classes. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I've got my books, and I'm going to be taking more classes, because if I'm going to claim something, language, culture, all those things play a big key into what you're trying to do. Your King James Bible is only a deception. It's a translation. I can translate the Bible. You're African. Look into the culture of the Africans. Building over where our people are, where we can actually have land of our own that's not governed over by another nation. Then we start making changes. Then we start making changes. But until then, you can post all the scriptures. You can sit there and memorize precepts. You can go to all these feast days. And in actuality, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know why you're at that feast day. And I'm not talking about on the 12 tribes chart. That's a joke. And I'm not talking about on the 12 tribes chart. That's a joke.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the other elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Also a sincere shalom to you other elders and brethren, all doing your part to get the reward of salvation. Also, sincere shalom to you other followers of the truth, whoever you may be, you few sisters. And let me say shalom to the elect. I want to go in this video here, and Lord's will, if I remember, I'll get a few comments off this. It says, warning to new Hebrew Israelites. So here we have, I wasn't going to do a video on this, but these videos pop up. But here we have this Eve here who says, she said a couple things, that we're not in captivity, we're Africans, you know. She just want to keep it going, you know. So there's a lot I want to say that I won't say, but I will say that she has another, this is another Eve that has hatred towards Jake. Now, again, in some of the comments, you'd be surprised at what Jake does, who creates this, right? All you need to do is slide in a little attention, and Eve will roll with it, man. That's all she needs. I don't know if this is some form of coming against Israelites. Maybe she was with a camp, and now we're supposed to follow her. I guess we're supposed to follow her. So she said no one called themselves Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. Well, let's see. Let's go to the book of, let's go to, was it 2 Corinthians 11 and 22. Let me go 11 and 21. Let me see what it says. It says, I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak, howbeit wherein any is bold. Let me make sure I got the right translation, because it jumps. I want to get to the point, but 2 Corinthians 11:21. It says, I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak, howbeit whereinsoever any is bold, I speak foolishly, I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. So he's clearly saying, just being a Hebrew was our language, and we were Israelites. Like you have Hebrew Edomites. We just come out of the loins of Abraham and Isaac, right? And then you had Isaac, who had Jacob, and you had Esau, and then you had the seed of Esau, and you had the seed of Jacob. So I don't know where you get this from. She also says she's going to pack up and learn Hebrew, and since it's her heritage, right? First of all, the Lord is going to give us all that back. Not that she's wrong about trying to learn as much Hebrew as she possibly can, and we got brothers who are sharp in the Hebrew and continues, with the Hebrew. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's, again, as we say, the law is not fully going to save you, but the faith, right? What good is knowing Hebrew and you're wicked? That's not any good. There's a lot of guys that throw precepts, and they wicked. All the Hebrew they know, but they wicked. You got guys claiming to be righteous and say they speak nothing but Hebrew. They got all the books. They call themselves Hebrew Israelites, but then they have an issue with saying Yahawashah. Yahweh and Yahawashah. They have that issue. So there's a lot going on in this situation with Eve. I don't know if there's just something went wrong again. And you see other Jake that come up and do this, have the same behavior. But what caught me is when she said that we are no longer in captivity. We hear that from time to time at camp. People come up and say, "No, we're free." Okay, the thing that's happening now. See how free you are now. So anytime your birth certificate, your license, driver's license, all is capitalized, going to the word capital, right? That's basically being owned. That's why they call money capital. That's why you have what you call the state capital and the Washington capital. That's why it's called capital. That's why you have capital, all capital letters on your birth certificate, your social security card, your driver's license, and so forth and so on. It's all capital, right? It's just what it is. And how would you get that so-called pass? How would you get that pass to go fly state to state? Country to country. Your passport. That's why it's called passport. You need a pass to go across the port. I'm not even going to get into that, but it's clearly this clearly goes back to Deuteronomy. Let me get that real quick. This clearly goes back to Deuteronomy, something that we were talking about that they say we broke down incorrectly. I can just quote it. And when it goes into 28:68, and there you should be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And when you go into the word, it says acquire or redeem you. And when you go into the other translations of that verse, it actually says no man shall save you, right? No man shall redeem you or redeem you or save you. Right? That's what it actually say when you go into the real old English of that verse. So anyway, let's go to a couple of comments. Really, it's not much to say on this. Swakfine 100, it says, we can't do nothing without the Most High God. We can't even build. Like you said, deception. We've been so divided, brothers and sisters. We are here together, and we're not enemies. I was close to joining one of those camps, but it's like the Most High was holding me back. I'm so glad he did. And you know what? That is good for you. You know why it's good for you? Because it was never meant for you to be in the camps, right? It was never meant for you to be in the truth. I'm kind of glad he did too, because this could have been the person trying to come in my camp, our camp, or any one of the other brothers' camps. Well, that just saved us trouble. So that's a good thing. These camps are set up, these situations like this are set up as was it Peter and Andrew was fishermen, and you drag the fish in, and all the other stuff fall out, the things you don't need you throw back. Well, the Lord is doing us a favor. Person goes on to say, I give them credit for showing me something I did not know, but yet deeper I looked and saw their arrogance. See, that's all they was concerned about. I looked and saw their arrogance. You just didn't have the test. You didn't have the spirit to be a soldier. That's all it is. Now, again, we're not saying you have to join the camp. You might just be a follower of the camp of the truth, you know. But the greatest gift is being a prophet, you know. And we say a great millstone. You want the truth? Here it is. Okay? That's not right. One thing Christian churches got right is the spiritual side of it. They always say they're not forsaken. How do you know that? See, this is all madness. But that's the Christian church. Somebody said, truth, bow down. This is a Jake. A truth, bow down. See this? This is where it starts. This is how it's all set up right here. Bowing down. You Jakes have told the queens of heaven that they are the best things to walk the planet, that nobody can stop what you say. You're the greatest people on the planet. You're the greatest, sex on the planet, right? You got it all. Anyway, this woman says we all African. This is an old precept, Exodus 11:7, which these precepts never get old. It says, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Okay, so let's go to Revelation 18:7. I equate this to the Queen of Heaven. That's why it's equated to the woman. This is actually what John saw. Okay. Verse 7, 18:7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. Right? So much torment give her, for she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Right? This is what Eve is saying. The average Eve sees this. This is her way of seeing it. And they don't understand the agenda of why it's all set up. And we can see now with what's happening. Oh, now we can see why Eve was set up. Right? We can see. Well, she has the children. Why not? Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. Which we know this is Babylon, but you got Eve that is joined unto Babylon, right? So this goes to you, wicked Eves, as well. Her plagues are going to come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she should be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. Now, it's not like at the end of the day, and the reason why we don't really pass so much emphasis on Eve like that, I just did the video because of the fact that she's saying that we're not in captivity. That was the main thing. Because when things switch, Eve is likely to switch. And there's going to be certain situations where Jake will have that authority. And that's as far as I'm going to say on that. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that to show you the hypocrisy and the sneakiness and, well, let me say, the wickedness that Eve has on her spirit. And that's because you're in these times. That proudness, that arrogance. I got it all, right? I sit a queen. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.